Hello, my chismosas. I hope y'all are having a great day today. Today, we're gonna get started on this Loteria Barro cake. So, I did make this cake for my parents. You're gonna see in the video that it's a little crooked, a little not straight, a lot of not straight, but we'll get into why it's like that. So as you can see right here, I am getting started, and I did go ahead and crumb coat the cakes already with some mock Swiss meringue buttercream. If you want a recipe on that, I can definitely help y'all out with that. I have seen recipes, and honestly, this one works best for me, and I love it. So yeah, just leave me a message. Leave me a comment down below. Anyways, I did cover them up, but they were still on the crooked side, so this was a cake for my parents. Like I said, I didn't mind it too much just because it was so last minute. We were having a little get together, and it wasn't supposed to be super duper perfect, and it wasn't even supposed to be a two-tiered cake to begin with, but I did decide to go that route just because I wanted more space. That way I can decorate a little bit more. But yeah, so right here I am adding the last base coat, which is going to be this chocolate whipped cream, and I do work with whipped cream a lot, so that is my literal expertise. Honestly, I do crumb coat and coat the final layer before stacking, just because this is a small cake. I didn't care too much about it like that, and it may sound horrible that I didn't care too much about it, but like I said, it was for my parents and last minute, and yeah, so and then budget wise, it was a little, let's just save on this cake, if anything. Yes, it sounds crazy, but I was just getting back in town, and it was a little hectic since Christmas and all that stuff had just passed, also, so it was crazy. But yeah, so right here, I'm just going to be smoothing that out, and I do use this clear scraper. It honestly works wonders with whipped cream. For buttercream though, I do go ahead and use the stainless steel ones. Those honestly are lifesavers for when you are working with buttercream, for sure, for sure. So once I am done adding the last base coat, I am going to go ahead and pop this in the fridge and let it sit for a little bit. And once it is cooled down and everything the way I want it, I'm going to go ahead and take it out and stack these cakes. I didn't get a video of me base coating the other one, but either way. So depending on the way you see this cake, it will look straight and then it'll look funky at the same time. So I took it as, you know what, I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit more. Trying to straighten out those sides a little bit, because also I know the cake is crooked as well, as y'all saw in the beginning of the video. But the thing is, because of the whipped cream too, I can actually, make it look straighter. The reason why it is crooked too, I did not cut off the tips, like the tops of the cakes. I usually don't do that, but usually when it is an ordered cake from somebody, I do, of course, try to make it as straight as possible. This one, like I said, it was just such in a rush, and I was just like, whatever, just throw it together. But yeah, keep that in mind. But I did leave the chocolate, because I wanted this to be a Barro Mexican themed cake. But I wanted to throw in, my mom likes to play the lottery a lot, but what other better way than to add the Mexican lottery? So I added Loteria to it. I added some Loteria cards, and I also added some little flags. I forgot what they're called, but Mexican themed type of flags. I really forgot what they're called, but I do have a bunch of Mexican decorations. So I wanted to include all these little banderitas and stuff like that. So you're gonna see that, but let me just tell you that I didn't order no edible images for this cake. The only option that I had at this moment was ordering pictures, like from Walgreens. And I usually do that when the budget is kind of on the downside, just because I don't want people to be like, oh my gosh, I'm missing out on this beautiful cake because I cannot afford this or that. So if someone comes to me and tells me like, hey, can you work with me or something. I can give them that option where, do you want edible images, which costs a little bit more, or would you just like me to go print some out for you? Which I usually have a printer, but at the moment I don't have my printer. So I had to go order them from Walgreens. So I give people those options. That way I can work with them, as my cakes are already on the higher priced side, just because I kid you not. First of all, budget wise, it's super duper expensive, eggs and everything. So this is some way to work with people. You know what I mean? So I did add what is the bottom border of the cake. And that is basically all that I added before adding these little banderitas and stuff like that. Just because I wanted to make sure everything was going to fit perfectly and stuff like that. And as you can see, I kind of messed it up. I should have just gone along and kept going with it. And following it, but instead I was trying to kind of make all the sides kind of like equal, but in reality it turned out okay at the end. But I should have just kept going all around instead of doing one side, then the other, and then the other, but it is okay. So I did go ahead and add that border, which is, I used a shell leaf tip, and that's basically it. I did that one to just what is the bottom of each, like the bottom of the cake, the middle, and of course the top. Why? Because I'm gonna be adding a different type of border also to that. So right here I'm just kind of measuring it out, making those little 4 points where I'm gonna be putting the little design for this cake, which is gonna be kind of like the vintage style cake. But so I did do this one with the chocolate, but the other borders will be with the vanilla whipped cream. And what I usually do is I actually usually add toothpicks to the sides. That way I go based off the toothpicks and stuff like that. But it was a small cake, like I said. It is a 4-inch on top and a 6-inch on the bottom. So I didn't have much trouble with seeing the little 4 points and, adding it together. Maybe it could have been better, yes, but in reality, I think it came out super duper cute the way it was already. And I think I kind of nailed, the measurements. So yeah. And then right here, I'm going to be adding another shell border, like I said, to that to that middle part basically. And I'm just going to be covering up what is the side of the cake, since that leaf tip didn't cover up the whole cake, because I left a little gap so that way it pops out and it gives you that little vintage Barro look. And I love this design so freaking much, guys. It was just, I tried to make everything just come together because I wanted it to be for my mom and for my dad, since I didn't do my dad his cake for his birthday. So that's the reason why I wanted to add like just Mexican style, but I didn't want it to look too girly because I wanted it for my dad, like I said. So I didn't add any like flowers or anything like that, because flowers just make it look girly. So that's why I did is I just decided, you know what, the minimum piping, and then the rest is just going to be paper, whatever. So I added those sarape flags on top, the little banderitas. I freaking love those so freaking much. I just don't even remember what the heck they're called, but regardless, they're super duper cute. And then right here, I'm just going to be adding these Loteria cards all around. And I did choose some of them, like La Dama, like for my mom, and then of course El Valiente for my dad. And I did choose, like, I believe it was like the crown and rose and stuff like that. Just stuff that like signifies them, and just to show my appreciation for them and everything. So that's why I chose these in specific. And of course, I cannot forget La Bandera. You already know. I did put La Bota, I believe, on here, and that is for my dad because he wears boots all the freaking time. But y'all leave me a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Would y'all have preferred to use edible images, or would y'all really consider using these? And what do y'all do to your customers? Like, do y'all just give them specifics, or do you always just add and use edible images? Because I see a lot of bakers nowadays using stock cards and stuff like that. I think that's what they're called. as other options, because sometimes you can't even get a hold of edible images unless you have a printer and ink and all the great things that come with that. But yeah, leave me a comment down below and let me know what y'all use, guys. I just always like these two because they are more sturdier and just super easy to just peel off if they don't want that. But yeah, guys, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you guys think about this cake. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. And yeah, but that is basically it, guys. I did add a few dots here and there after that, and that was it. I just wanted to add some more color to it. But yeah, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.